All right, welcome back to Newsline. Let's quickly dive into our first story. And this one resonates with me really, really hard. Now, years ago, my NYSC experience at the Yikbata orientation camp gave me insights that even without my realizing it, prepared me for my marital journey. Now, I met Mr. Adilabu Abdulrazak, who's from Kwara State, years later. And that's after my NYSC service at Yikbata. And when the time came to say that ultimate, yes, I do, there was no hesitation. Because my exposure at Yikbata came in very handy. Now, that's the magic of the mandatory NYSC scheme. Graduates under 30 from all over the world, Nigeria, I should say, are deployed to different parts of our country. Now, not just to learn about Nigeria, but also to gain insights into our various cultures and ways of life. And by the end of their service year, they often come out with a new orientation indeed. Now, take Tharitha Richard Edith, for example. She's currently serving in Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State, and she's from the southern part of our country. Pauline Kujevana met with her, and the insights she shared are truly heartwarming. Pauline, over to you.
Prior to her posting to Borno State, Maiduguri in particular, for the mandatory National Youth Service Scheme, graduates of tertiary institutions below the ages of 30 must undergo, 27-year-old Theresa Edith Richard, NYSC member from Akwa Ibom, was only hearing about northern Nigeria in the radio, the television or geography books, let alone Maiduguri in the extreme northern part of Nigeria. Almost a year after her first ever sojourn in an environment that differs remarkably in every respect from the very environment she grew up, she confesses to being a completely changed person about Nigeria, her people, and most importantly, life itself. She shared with the NTA what first came to her mind the very moment she received her posting letter to Borno State for the one-year mandatory National Youth Service assignment.
It was like telling me that they posted you to Borno State. I was shocked with great fear. Borno State of all the states. But even when I was still telling God I will go, I was still having fear. Fear of what we have been heard about Borno State, the Boko Haram, everything. And I have to ask the person that was sitting beside me, which state is this? He now told me that we have entered Borno State. And I said, what is the slogan of this state? And he now told me that it's a home of peace.
What has been the biggest discovery about Nigeria and life in particular as it relates to her sojourn in Maiduguri as a core member?
The relationship that I have in this place, both young and old, especially when I went into this personal CDS, I found out that the people here, they are easily to approach.
As her service here drew to a close, Theresa wanted to give back to her host community, hence engaged in a community development service CDS project, clearing drainages and fumigation to prevent stagnant water and mosquito breeding, which contributed to the high cases of malaria she had witnessed.
To communicate the whole streets for the sake of the children, the pregnant women, and the entire people of Blunkutu. Giving them mosquito nets is not a solution because mosquito here doesn't respect mosquito nets.
Theresa had also utilized her multi-skills to teach female students at Ramat Polytechnic how to make custard, bake, and produce liquid soap, all free of charge. Theresa felt fulfilled serving in Borno, a place she never thought she would call home, praying to return to her hometown after her passing out parade, but also hoped to come back to Borno to explore more opportunities.
Indeed, home, again, as I always say, is where your heart is. But truly, the NYSC really opens doors, and it's quite inspiring to see how the scheme has not only survived, various agitations to scrap it, but also thrived amidst challenges, of course, like Theresa said, insurgency. So this report, for me, stands as a testament to the enduring objectives of our mandatory NYSC scheme. Now, sometimes I wonder if the value of reciting our national anthem is really lost on us. And many people, especially the millennials, you know, those born within the millenniums, the 2000 year and so fraction years. Now, those are yet to understand the unifying power of our national anthem, particularly the one used in the 1960s. But the readoption of Nigeria, We Hail Thee as our national anthem has raised eyebrows. Many are curious about its relevance today and whether it still resonates with Nigerians. Now, our correspondent Zainab Adam engaged with residents of Maiduguri again to hear their perceptions and find out if they can't recite the anthem. Interestingly, many millennials are beginning to also learn the lyrics. And you heard Elizabeth Omoriyu earlier on the news. But let's go to Maiduguri.
Nigerian national anthem, Mr. Albert Congo raises the flag of the new nation.
Nigeria, we hail thee. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
Nigeria's golden moment, independence, at last, after prolonged years of nationalistic struggles. It was a moment the world stood in reverence for the nation's greatest achievement in history, the attainment of independence. The symbolic old national anthem was the most iconic ambience that ushered the independence, and for several decades afterwards, it remained the clarion song asserting the greatness of the nation and binding its citizens in unity, honor, and service to motherland. Nigeria, We Hail Thee is the national anthem of Nigeria, formerly used from independence in 1960 until 1978. With the phasing out of the old anthem and introduction of the Arise O Compatriots version on 1st October 1978, Nigeria, We Hail Thee began its downward journey to forgetfulness in the minds of Nigerians, not only the wordings, but perhaps the message of nationalism it conveyed. Ironically, even the old seems to forget the anthem.
Can't sing the national anthem because it seems difficult and I haven't heard it on radio or anywhere.
Let's hear more from those 50 years and above, as well as the Gen Zs, on how it resonates with them.
I
know that we start by saying the word Nigeria, but I don't know the rest. Nigeria, we heal. Yes, okay.
I love that particular aspect that says where no man is oppressed. It reflects the present reality in this country, and so it reminds us that, look, we are of equal value and no man should be oppressed.
We obey the Constitution by trying to learn the new national anthem and to work on the national anthem according to what the national anthem says.
Schools around the metropolis have picked up swiftly and are beautifully reciting the anthem, making it be that if we are intentional about it, we will get it right. Although an ordinary man on the street is aware that the national anthem has been changed, complaints are heard that it is less publicized for people to learn.
Most of our grassroots foot soldiers will reach various schools, so what they will sing and see. From there, they will give them in written so that they will sing it in the various schools so that they cannot make mistakes.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. If the way we sing it is the way we put it to use and defend our sovereign motherland, Nigeria may be blessed.
Thank you, Zainab. And each time I recite Nigeria, We Hail Thee, I get very, very emotional. The lyrics really, are quite relevant today, especially the stanza that speaks to though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. But every stanza, addresses the wish of many Nigerians. So please, let's learn the lyrics by heart. All right, our children are our future. Unlike previous generations, Gen Z and the millennials again, they have access to a world of information at their fingertips, now opening up endless possibilities for their capabilities. Now, while we applaud their mastery of technology, we must also be mindful of the potential dangers that come with it. Now, this brings us to our next report by correspondent Chidebere Onya, who explores how parents can't effectively manage and monitor the content that children access online.
You cannot give a child a phone and you don't checkmate. You're supposed to checkmate it every time, be involved in the person's child's life, because YouTube, there are settings. If you don't know, you can check about it. How you set it and how you limit what they access.
No gainsaying that the world keeps advancing in technology. While this has opened more opportunities for people, there is no denying the fact that it has also made young people more vulnerable, especially over the internet. Exposure to harmful content, such as violence, pornography, is an ever-present risk in internet use.
There are some things, you understand, that are not expected of the young children growing up to learn from this internet. Some learn things that expose them into criminal vices.
There's a new Gen Z thread that the fact that I'm being born as a man or as a boy child does not necessarily mean I need to love the opposite side. These are orientations that are going on in our society today. So there is a need for parents to be very, very aggressive in checking what the children are doing and to ensure that not just preaching about morality or bringing them up rightly, but you're enforcing by checking their phones.
The phone you have given your child to be able to know when he or she is leaving school might actually become a danger in the hand of that child. Keeping wrong friend, pornographic sites and all that, and indulging in even sex on the phone while mommy and daddy, they are sleeping in the room. And the issue of Yahoo now is also rampant among teenagers and even youths in secondary school. So the parents should go extra mile.
Iheme Omoziopai is an IT expert. He says the real issue is not a child's chronological age, but their maturity level. And so, parental control on the kid's smartphone device is compulsory. He demonstrates how it can be done.
Apart from Google Family Link, you can also use it on web browsers, the Chrome web browser, where you can register your child's email on your Chrome browser and also monitor activity, have a control over his activities online. Parents should be on top of whatever their kids are doing online. The internet is a very unsafe place right now.
Observers reiterate that parents must know that times have changed and must adopt a more effective way to raise the next generation for a better society.
A very good point to take a break for some commercials. You're watching Newsline. We'll be back presently. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. It's Newsline, your Sunday tonic. In a heartfelt tribute, echoing the Yoruba sayings, Orisha Biya Kosi, there's no deity like a mother, and Yaniwura, mother is gold. Emotions overflowed at a touching stage play honoring the late Abibat Mogaji, mother of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, State House correspondent Musbatan Wahab captured the essence of the event, where he says tears were outnumbered by heartfelt emotions. He also reports that the stage came alive, portraying the profound motherhood, enduring legacy, and unwavering resilience of the late Abibat, affectionately known as Yaoloja General, during her lifetime.
History has told stories of many Nigerian heroes and heroines. Yet, there are many untold stories and unsung great ones. But when it is time, this particular story finds the right stage. The story of Abibat Mogaji, which reenacts the motherhood, legacy, and the resilient spirit of the late woman leader, premiered in Abuja with the destined child on the biggest seat in the land. Even her grandchildren and other Nigerians from distance literally saw the late Iyaloja General on this stage as the play captures her human parts and roles in the quest for national freedom, creation of Lagos State, as well as her detribalized nature. By the play, the great grassroots mobilizer might have seen these present days coming years ago.
Mark my son Ahmed for me. Make him the president of Nigeria. That Awolowo and Abibat Macaulay. I make this prayer in the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful.
Thanks to the team for bringing back the memories, but despite his usual charismatic and resolute persona, it was a nostalgic moment for President Tinubu.
My first restaurant was her breast. My first toilet was on her lap. And my first ever bedroom was on her back. And I thank God for the gift that I had from her. And that gift is an enduring one. Character, determination, never to give up.
The show also generously displayed the culture of southwest Nigeria, particularly Lagos, and indeed a call for the need to protect the cultural heritage of the country.
We will invest in Nigerian culture and art for the education of our children and for the benefit of mankind.
How best can we help more inspire? Because frequently our greatness without telling the stories of our heroes past to inspire our up-and-coming legends. This is the basis for this team of legends, which we are starting today with the fascinating story of our great Mama Abibat and Mogaji.
And the show continues in other parts of the country.
All right, from the theatre, let me take you to the stadium, which is often synonymous with football and athletics. And that's the Haliru Abdul Stadium in Kebbi State, which recently transformed into a vibrant celebration of culture, bursting with a kaleidoscope of colors, rhythms, and traditions. And it's a 2024 unity and cultural event which showcased the rich and diverse heritage of Kebbi, the people of Kebbi State. Our correspondent, Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa, captured the event, which turned out to be a great leveler of sorts, bringing together people from all walks of life in a celebration of unity and neighborliness.
This is not Enugu or Abia State in the east, nor Benue in the middle belt of Nigeria, but Kebbi State, located at the extreme end of the northwestern part of the country, showcasing tribal coexistence, a conglomerate of various tribes such as the Yoruba from the south, the Igbo from the east, the Tiv from the middle belt, the Chilela from Zazzau Emirate, the Kambari from Yauri Emirate, and the House of Lani from Argungu and Gondo Emirate. All come together, showcasing brotherliness and fostering unity that has lasted for ages in the state.
In Kebbi State for the past 27 years, and it's a town or state that is relatively calm and peaceful. We enjoy our stay here, but in Kebbi now getting
going to 47 years, and then we feel okay together with my people. They know the play tribalism, where we are equal, and then the land of equity.
We have been living in peace with the Kebbi state government. And also, we thank God for the kind governor that God gave us. And we pray that God will continue helping the governor of Kebbi State, Kawara.
Kebbi, known as the land of equity, provides an enabling environment for each tribe to thrive, allowing unity to grow within the state and by extension the country, promoting development and harmony.
Enjoy and explore the possibilities of the United States. And you can see the attendance is very high, the people are very happy, they are looking for unity and diversity.
The cultural event held in Birnin Kebbi, the Kebbi state capital, went beyond the display of the rich cultural heritage, also showcasing creativity and invention by youths in the state that can be harnessed to improve technology. So if you ever think of relocating, remember that Kebbi state is home to all, and that is why it is known as the land of equity.
Kebbi state is not only known as the state of equity, but a state of different cultural diversity, living in harmony, peace, and unity.
And that's the spirit. And it's also the spirit that underlies the Durbar, a significant cultural festival celebrated for fostering peace and coexistence. That's something that our country greatly needs today. Whenever and wherever it is staged, it is a mark of great honor, especially when organized in honor of a traditional ruler. Newsline had the rare privilege of witnessing this thrilling and spectacular event organized by the Zazzau Emirate Council in honor of the paramount ruler of Iwo land, Oba Abdurrashid Adewale. Our correspondent Suraj Abdullahi was there to capture the magic, and as expected, the Emirate's contingent dazzled the audience with a vibrant and captivating display of culture, making it a memorable celebration of unity and, if you may, heritage.
You know our tradition in northern Nigeria is mainly
dressed in a royal regalia, displaying performances on horses show how rich the culture of Zazzau Emirate is. In most cases, Durbar are cultural performances carried out during Salah festivity, but this time around, it was organized as a mark of honor to a special guest, Oluwa of Iwo land, Oba Abdurrashid Adewale Akambi, who was in Zaria to consolidate the relationship between the two distinctive traditional institutions. This spectacular display of colors and showmanship of hundreds of horses and horse riders demonstrate their skills in a glittering parade before the two royal highnesses and other dignitaries. Emir of Zazzau, Malam Ahmad Nuhu Bamalli, and Oluwa of Iwo land, Oba Abdurrashid Adewale Akambi, described the Durbar as an avenue that will promote peaceful coexistence among Nigerians.
This is his first time of coming to Zaria, but his father had worked here in Zaria as general manager, in I think Leadway Assurance, company many years back. So this is a kind of building relationship, across the country. It is remarkable in the sense that at least, we're receiving visitors from all over the country and beyond, and this will strengthen, relationship, between northern Nigeria and western Nigeria.
In tradition, you can see, they said in our national anthem, Nigeria we hail thee. Our own dear native land. Though tribe may differ and tongues may differ, but in brotherhood, you see where we are standing now. We're standing in brotherhood, and this is so beautiful. Nothing like this. I love this culture is being displayed here today. And thank you very much, Your Highness, for me to even have a chance to visit you.
Yoruba community, among other ethnic nationalities within Zazzau Emirate, are not left out of the event, as the memory of this historic Daba will linger in their minds.
Indeed, in brotherhood, or if you may, sisterhood, we stand. And that's the message of our national anthem. You're watching Newsline. Let's go for another commercial break. When we come back, we'll bring you much more intriguing stories. Welcome back. Imagine a life that began with a remarkable twist. A birth that occurred after an unprecedented 14-month pregnancy, defying the standard gestation period of 9 months. Now, this is exactly how Pastor Reay Efetuli Ubovire began his extraordinary journey of resilience and wisdom as he celebrates his 70th birthday. In an era where life expectancy trends are uncertain, attaining the age of 70 is not just the passing of years, but accumulation of profound impact. And our correspondent Joel Bukwola reports on the glitz and glamour that marked the birthday celebration that attracted luminaries from the media, advertising, and marketing communications.
For the associate pastor, Amazing Grace Pentecostal Church, Pangrove, Pastor Reay Ugbogre, 70 years is just a stepping stone to many more years ahead. Accustomed to showing gratitude to God, the celebrant was lost in soul-lifting worship songs. Founder, Amazing Grace Pentecostal Church, Pangrove, Bishop Chioma Grace Dauji, who has known the celebrant for 38 years, in a sermon hinged on gratitude to God, described the associate pastor as a man of valor who is worthy of emulation.
His position does not matter. He does things without minding his rank and position. These are the people we need in this nation to pull the nation up.
Several groups within the church who have benefited from Pastor Reay's benevolence presented gifts to him. The special birthday Thanksgiving was an opportunity for Pastor Reay alongside his family to show unreserved gratitude to God. The celebrant recalled with nostalgia his early years and how God has helped him to surmount different hurdles in life.
My late father just gave me one small technique, but I had to balance it up with the word of God. So once it's 12 midnight, forget that day. What you cannot achieve that day, you cannot achieve it again. Just let it go. But now in Christ, I just find out that everything, peace of mind, rest. The Lord has given me a lot of rest on all sides.
I think 17, I just started. Because being in Christ is the best. Christ will take over your life, take over your steps. He's so kind, generous, caring to me and the children, grandchildren. When he does anything wrong and you correct him, he tell you sorry without argument.
A man you can run up to and say, uncle, brother, father, I need your assistance. Anytime, any day is there for you.
The Delta State-born marketing communication expert was the cynosure of all eyes at the reception, with many of his kinsmen eager to catch a glimpse of the man of the moment. A rare gathering of veterans across the broadcast industry, advertising, marketing communications, including former Executive Director of Marketing of NTA, Mrs. Nike Olufade, and others in areas where Pastor Reay has impacted, made the day a memorable one for him.
We worked together when I was a producer of Newsline. He was the major media consultant, marketer for NTA. And in spite of the fact that he used to bring a huge amount of business to NTA, he was always very humble, always very nice.
He's God-fearing. If he tell you he's coming,
be sure that it's coming for that thing. It's very straightforward. We started Amazing Grace Pentecostal Church together with him. You see, Pastor Reay lives life for other people. It is an understatement for me to even call him a philanthropist. He is a giver without limits.
A lover of God and a family man to the core. His children and staff could not contain their emotions as they took stock of the sacrifices made by their father.
My forever young daddy, continue to stay and swag, continue to preach, continue to shine so brightly for Jesus. Thank you, Daddy, for everything.
Daddy has always been present in our lives. He's the best dad ever, literally the best. He's taught me a lot of things that I know today. He's taught me how to love, and I'm grateful to God for him, grateful to God for keeping him, and I pray that he will see many, many more years.
Yeah, to be a man, you have to be a serious provider, and you have to be able to provide and be able to be there when your wife, children, and people need you, you know.
After 42 years of marriage and still counting, Pastor Reay and his wife demonstrated that their romance is still sizzling. Flanked by family members, the celebrant cut his 70th birthday cake. The excitement continued as Segun Johnson on the bandstand thrilled guests with melodious lyrics.
Oh yes, it's so great to see Mrs. Hastrop, one of our foremost producers of Newsline there. And by the way, Pastor Reay of Fax Media shines as a valued partner to the NTA, and he embodies innovation and collaboration. So here's to leaders like Pastor Reay who light the way forward for everyone. Let's take you to Maiduguri, the vibrant heartbeat of Borno, that stands as a gateway to an incredible mix of stories about culture, tradition, and resilience. Now, this city offers a very rich tapestry of history and modernity, masterfully blending progress with preservation. And on Newsline tonight, Tina Toro captures Maiduguri's iconic structures, revealing the unique narratives at the heart of Borno State's capital that make it a must visit.
Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State, boasts of a rich cultural heritage. Its iconic structures standing as symbols of resilience and reminders of its glorious past. Among these landmarks is the historic Maiduguri Central Mosque alongside the centuries-old Shehu's Palace.
The structures in Borno, particularly the Shehu's Palace, is a structure that stands the test of time. It was constructed in 1907 when the Shehu's Palace was moved from Kukawa to Maiduguri as a result of the destruction and dilapidation of the capital in Kukawa by the Rabi invasion of Borno in the 19th century.
As people pass through the city streets, they marvel at the beauty and preservation of structures like the State House of Assembly and the Dendel Police Barracks.
Firstly, I would say I would give a thumbs up to the engineer who made that wonderful structure. You can see that it is a very archaic structure which was built by the colonial masters. Right now the structure is still firm and very strong despite the wind and the sandstorm that's been blowing.
Dendel Police Station is one of the best buildings we ever had.
The strong and beautiful Local Government Service Commission building, erected 84 years ago, initially served as the State Secretariat before its relocation to the Musa Usman Secretariat upon completion in 1975.
It's one of the old buildings in Borno, and it is still solid, it is still very strong, and I suggest that it should be preserved for posterity.
It indicates that Borno is an ancient town. Of course, this building there is no kind of its kind in Africa. This is the first of its kind, built by Musa Usman Secretariat. And it's still functionable.
Amidst ongoing urban development, preserving these iconic structures remains a top priority for both government and local authorities, ensuring these cultural treasures remain intact.
We preserve it, but the preservation is natural because those who built it at that time used, all the materials that were, materials that can stand whatever kind of change.
In Maiduguri, modern development thrives alongside tradition, creating a harmonious blend where innovation complements heritage. Despite emerging trends in the architectural world and innovations in the building industry, iconic buildings such as this are being sustained and maintained in their original state, adding color to the historical landscape of Borno.
Thank you very much for that wonderful report from Maiduguri. Let's take another break. Newsline will continue in just a moment. Welcome back to Newsline, and quickly let's update you now on the 2024 UEFA Championship. And we hear that Spain are European champions for the fourth time after they beat England 2-1 in the finals of UEFA Men's Euro 2024 at the Olympia Stadium in Berlin, Germany. Now goals from Nico Williams and Junior and Mikel on side of Cole Palmer equalized, ensured that Spanish team ended England's aspirations for a first piece of silverware since their triumph at the 1966 FIFA Men's World Cup. Now, the Reds won the Euro Men's Tournament back-to-back in 2008 and 2012 before going on a 7-match unbeaten run to become kings of European football again. And congratulations to the Spaniards of Spain, and better luck next time to the English of England, if you may. Now, on a day buzzing with the excitement of graduation and dreams of a promising future, having completed her exit or clearance documentation, tragedy struck and shattered this promising dream of Glory Adekolure Ido. A student, a university graduate of Benin, of University of Benin. Now, it was Thursday, June the 13th, 2024, when Glory's journey home in her community in Ovia Northeast local government area of Edo State turned into a nightmare. Now, she was brutally attacked, raped, and murdered by assailants whose identities remain unknown. Ifeoma Okafor reports on this heart-wrenching and devastating incident.
The 22-year-old fresh chemistry graduate, Glory Adekolure, was killed by unknown persons on her way from school. Her lifeless body was later found a day after. Meanwhile, amidst the ongoing arrests and further investigations, the body of Glory has been interred in her house in Iyowa.
The late Glory Adekolure has just been buried in her family house in Iyowa, and for the family members, the vacuum caused by her death is difficult to fill.
We are pleading on the government of Obaseki, President Tinubu, they should come to our hands, please. Oba of Benin, all the human rights, please, they should come to our rescue. And my mother don't have anywhere to run to. She's our only hope we have, the first graduate in our family. Please, we need justice for Glory.
Because the news circulating online about the killer, we are not satisfied, we do not believe it. The suspect, we do not believe the suspect. Because he claims that he's the only one that, according to the news circulating, that he's the only one that killed my sister. But for the injury and the rape and everything observing that girl, only him cannot oppress our sister and kill him like that. There are other culprits, so they should bring them ahead. Justice, we need justice.
All of us are so saddened with the sudden death and the mode of death. I want justice. That is transparent justice for Glory, so that our family will have peace.
The family members are optimistic that at the end of the day, the killers of Glory will be made to face the wrath of the law.
Time really flies when you are having a good time, doesn't it? We still got more in store, but we will have to save it for next week. Thanks to all of you for joining me tonight. And a big shout out to my incredible Newsline team. You've been so amazing. Remember, every challenge we face in life is a chance to grow stronger, especially when we work together, we achieve together. Have a great good night. Bye-bye.